Well, we were here for a course on capacity development, and that is the follow-up course of the TC reform training. The main aim of the course is to get people familiarized with principles of capacity development within EU cooperation. What is, for me, was very important is that people exchange experiences, what they do with capacity development in their programs. We had people from delegations, we had people from various units here in Brussels, and everybody had experience with capacity development, even capacity development of their own unit. And that for me was an important experience, that everybody had something to say about capacity development. It was not new. And what amazed me as well, when we did the first exercise in asking them, what words do you think of when you hear the word capacity or capacity development? Nobody said training. I'm very happy as a trainer to see that participants look at capacity development as not as another way of doing training, as not as simply getting more skills into participants, skills into partners, etc. It is much more, and that was something that I really liked very much, and we could continue on that basis. So human resource development, organizational development, institutional development were already topics that for the people were normal talk about. And then you can go much more deeper in a capacity development course. What I would like with these courses to happen is that increasingly they will be done in delegations. Because in delegations you can be much more specific about what capacity development means for that delegation. Some delegations have more a programmatic approach, others have more a budget support approach, and the additional advantage is that you have most of the members of the delegation present in the room, because to do good capacity development you have to have some sort of coordination within the delegation, even coordination with the political side of the delegation, because capacity development is also political, which is reflected in the TC reform guidelines, etc., etc. And if you have a course at the delegation, or when you have it, then you will have a chance to invite partners, development partners in it, not only development partners but also your counterpart staff, the ministries, representatives of ministries, representatives of CSOs, and that makes it much more concrete how capacity development can be planned for the future, what mistakes are being made, how to avoid making the mistakes in the future, etc. So this is okay, this is perfect to do it here, but it is even better to do it where the action is. We had a big discussion on whether capacity development is a means or an end. And to be honest, for me, it is a means to an end. And it is not an end in itself, even though a lot of people think it's an end in itself. Of course, you develop capacity and people work better, and that's a nice end, that's a nice thing to do, but you have to do something with that capacity. And in that sense, I feel that the discussion we had this afternoon about, do we have programs with the capacity development component, or do we have capacity development programs with an infrastructure or a hardware component? I find that discussion in this sense very important, because in my opinion the European Union is basically working on capacity development. And with that, in order to get that capacity of partners moving, you need sometimes, or you need a lot of infrastructure or hardware support. But the basic aim is capacity improvement of partners, not the road being built, not the hospital to be built. In this course, I took the decision beforehand to have the course focused on participants' cases. So in the first session of the course on yesterday morning, I asked the participants, please make your own cases. Come up with your own ideas. And we also asked the participants already before the course, come with your own ideas to this course. We sent them an email and we had an invitation to come up with their own ideas. And I think that was a good idea. We had I think, 5 or 6 ideas, and from those 5 or 6 ideas, we selected 3 by voting, and those 3 were sort of a running theme through the 2 days, in which the participants could exercise on their own real life cases. And I think that made the course much more realistic than if you only work with paper prepared exercises. For me, that was a very good addition to this course. For me, it was new as well.